Greetings, programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews and the final video of Repaint Remold Week. And I'm not gonna lie, we're ending this on a high point. Today we're gonna go ahead and look at Studio Series 86 Starscream, which yes does mean we're going to have the Earthrise Starscream here as well. And right off the bat, I'm sure quite a few people are not really seeing the difference. Yes, in alt mode, these two are incredibly similar. Only real differences, Earthrise here, as you can see, little bit less vibrant red paint, actually. Smaller Decepticon insignias. They did do a slightly cleaner job painting these bands on the cockpit on the Studio Series 1. And these little gray bits are new on the Studio Series. As well as the Studio Series doesn't have the stripes on the tail fins. Some people call that lazy. Other people say that's what he looked like in the movie. So that's why they got rid of the paint. Your mileage may vary there. There are more differences to go over when we get to the robot mode. But one thing to address, I'm not sure how well this is going to come across in camera, but all the molded greebles and, little details on these modes, on these jet planes, they're much sharper on the Studio Series 1. Like, you can see that there's, a harder shadow on the ones here on the left. That's not, a trick of the light or something. The edges on here are slightly rounded, while here they actually have more of a square, more defined edge to them. It's very subtle, but it's just enough to make these cast a harsher shadow and stand out a lot more. So for jet mode, that's really your differences. A little bit of paint differences, slightly sharper, greebles and bits. But where this gets fun is when you get him into robot mode. So we'll go ahead, get that handled. Before anyone asks, yes, this one does still have the paint chipping issue because this is still the same paint used on both versions, unfortunately. So I know that someday I will be having to fix that. Worth mentioning, though, these wings, they do seem to have tightened this peg up a little bit so they don't pop off as easily. So, worth knowing, that is very, very welcome. Joints overall do seem to have been, again, like tolerances tightened up a little bit. Make things a little bit more solid. Ahead and get this part done. I hate doing this part because, like, you are going to be doing the paint screwing up by your own hands there. But bring the arms out, come back here, pop the nose cone free, bring it down, slot it in, clip those back over. I'm not even going to say for sure I will have a link to the Earthrise video, because at this point, I don't remember if I have a video on the Earthrise figure. I hope I do. If I do, I'll link to it. As most of you know, I haven't done this for a while. I'm rusty, unfortunately. Come on, give us the head reveal. There we go. This piece pegs on a lot tighter on this version, at least in my experience. And here we'll actually go ahead and, finish him off. Give him the null raise. I missed with this shoulder. Get that peg back in. And there we've got him in his robot mode. he looks really, really good. And in fact, he looks almost identical to the original version. Once again, only real differences you have here. I did forget to mention, the paint for the color of blue is slightly brighter on the Studio Series. But again, it's, slightly different Decepticon insignia. You've got the different, tail wing paint. And, well, it won't show on camera the best here because I have to use front lighting. The metallic paint for his face is actually significantly darker on this version, which actually helps the eyes pop quite a bit more. I know it's not popping that great on camera because of my lighting situation, but yeah, basically the same figure, except for the fact that this one has opening hands. It's very subtle. It's really the only difference of, any note in the mold besides the sharper details. Except there's one more change that I've noticed. I haven't really seen anyone talking about this. They changed the flight stand on his back. If you can see, it's actually a little bit recessed now. So you can put in, slightly different, like a 2-stage peg. I know, we're just sitting here staring at Starscream butt right now. Hooray! Unfortunately, someone's probably excited that I did that. But yeah, it's the Earthrise figure again, which is the Generations Universe Deluxe class figure again. But anyone who's actually paid attention realizes that the description of this video says leader class. And you're going, what about this is leader class? This is literally a Voyager figure. Well, remember, it's not a size, it's a price point. And so to justify the price point, they give you more stuff. This video was not called Coronation Starscream for nothing. Yes, he comes with this great lump of accessories in his box. So we're going to go ahead and get started with those. First thing we're going to do is remove the null rays here, and we'll turn the throne around. Start by popping off the cape. Just a peg right here, going in right there. While we're here, I will even go ahead and peg the regular null rays right there for storage. Turn them around, flip up the nose cone, go ahead and peg the cape right here on his back. Fold that back down. Come down underneath here, and this can be a little tricky to do at times, but he has the shoulder pads from the movie for his, 30-second coronation scene, as well as the shoulder pads have a new null ray, where, here, let me grab the old one so you can see. First of all, the obvious, molded in a different color and then painted gray instead of just being gray. But they've moved the peg and removed the little back section here, which lets them fit on this little piece here in the shoulder pad. And then go ahead, fold this piece down, and peg that into his shoulder instead. And I don't know why he's just kind of leaning on me tonight. I probably have something not pegged in or done correctly on his legs right now. But go ahead, do that. Finish it off. There's a little kind of tab right there. It's tabbing into the front right there of the blue crown that is then painted into the gold and red. That will just sit down over his head. And there you have Coronation Starscream. Um, I love that they have gone to this much hassle for a figure of something that shows up for 30 seconds in the whole movie. That is hysterical to me. But oh my gosh, I love this. I love this so much. I don't care that it's stupid. I love it. The throne is great. I love that it has full accessory storage. Obviously, you can put everything back here, both sets of null rays at the same time. Stores everything. There's a point to it being hollow down here to fit the shoulder pads. Even with the hollowness here, this is solid. This thing is heavy. It's got nice little bits of molded detail all over it. Really appreciated. And just look at this guy. He looks so good. He's ready to stand here screaming, "Get on with the ceremony," before Galvatron turns him to dust. You end up with this new kind of double hinge situation going on with the shoulder pads, so that you do still maintain, full posability. You can even angle the pads a little bit if they don't interfere with the torso too much. And the cape is posable too. Not just, rotating it back and forth on the peg, but I'm sure plenty of people already noticed there's hinges in the cape. Fold this up, get a little clearance. It actually folds in over itself, which you can fold out and make it billow off to the side. I cannot get over this, and this is the number one reason why I will already say, because I know plenty of people, they wanted, they went and bought the red figure and just put the accessories on their Earthrise Starscream. This is better. This is infinitely better. One, you're not flexing and stressing the rubber shoulder pads that are with that version. These ones actually peg in correctly. They hold tight. He comes with new null rays so that he can, actually do things with them. He can pose easier. He's got hands that work. There's so much pose potential for that. And because this is a plastic cape, you can get him in a proper... You can just have him permanently stoic. There's a lot more I could say at this point, but I'm not going to bother. If you like Starscream and you're looking at this, you're already going and seeing if you can find one of this guy. I cannot recommend this guy enough. If you need a Starscream, this is the way to get yourself a Starscream. Yes, we're talking about effectively a 30-second meme of bad comedy here. But this ends up being one of the most impressive figures I've seen in a long time. Yes, it does still have the paint chipping issue of the red paint. That's annoying. They should have fixed that. It is relatively easy to fix yourself. I would recommend using an enamel paint, actually, because I'm pretty sure they've used enamel here to begin with. So that way your fixes will blend in better. And this is a Starscream that you're not really going to be putting in jet mode a whole bunch. He lives in this mode for me, standing there looking epic, being a boss. And to go over really quick, and in fact I'll even use the Earthrise version for this. Yes, he can actually sit in the throne. I'm just too lazy to, take his stuff off. Clearly, he's not sitting in the throne with the cape on. But you just go ahead, fold this panel up so that he can bend his feet forward, or legs forward, and actually sit. And there you go. Yes, he is like 90% standing in front of it. But you fuss with it a little bit, you get it set up. It looks really, really good. Here, we'll move the crown over. Yes, the crown is compatible with both versions. So if you like this one a little bit more, you can take the gear and put it on this one. Which, To be fair, yeah, well, that turned him into a $50 accessory kit. Have you seen what it costs to get, like, just a throne like this 3D printed? That's actually still not the worst deal you're looking at in your life. So, it's one of those things where you can complain, but I would argue that your complaint is actually self-defeating. Because what is your alternative? Something that costs more for less. Here at least you get, a second Starscream, so you can just leave one permanently in jet mode, one in robot mode, leave the robot mode one looking gorgeous like this. Just, yes, I know, I'm a Starscream fanboy, there's a bit of bias going on here. But I cannot recommend enough this figure. If you need a Starscream, this is your Starscream. If you have this Starscream and you're wondering if this one's better, this one's better. If it really bothers you so much that this one has 2 stripes right here that this one doesn't, then paint them on, okay? It costs $2 for some paint and like another $1 for a brush. There you go. I cannot recommend this enough. It's so good. Anyway, enough gushing. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.